Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Tobi and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Tobi, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod. Guys, welcome back to the pod. Kate, another week, another pod.
Yes, I love doing podcasts.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm getting such great feedback.
Yeah. What got you into it?
So the All In pod
Yeah.
really got me hooked on listening to Chamath, Jason, David, and David. Four guys that I genuinely look up to in Silicon Valley. Listening to them. I'm trying to get Jason on the pod, but he's in San Francisco. Oh, he's actually in Texas at the moment.
Yeah.
But we have a mutual friend that's trying to tee it up.
Cool.
So we might have to do one that's sort of you and me in the studio and Jason from Texas.
Look, if we have to go to the US, I'm in.
Hey, like if the budget allows for it, let's just do it. I've done US. Like my cousin got married and we just had Maddie, I think it was Maddie. And Steve just got married and I literally arrived. I left Los Angeles when I was living there on a Friday night and I was home Monday morning.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
I took the flight, I landed, he had the wedding at 2:00. We partied all night. And then at 8:00 or 10:00 the next day, or 8:00 I had to be back at the airport. And that was it. I used my frequent fly points to get me business class tickets. So basically I slept there and on the way home.
Yes.
Otherwise I landed and didn't sleep. It was amazing.
Crazy.
How do we get into podcasting? Look, it's an elongation from the vlog. Like the vlog, I think we shot maybe nearly 800 or 900 episodes.
Yeah.
And they were fast.
Yeah.
And I think that we live in a world today where you can be your own broadcast. You know, it takes a lot to be able to do it. But you know, you don't have to be a Channel 7, 9 or a Foxtel or a ESPN to be able to broadcast your own show these days. And I think that our members and the people that we bring on, I don't want to hurry them up. I want to go a little bit slower, take a little bit longer, enjoy the moment. Yeah. But I love my podcast. I listen to my friend Giovanni, who has the Flex Uncensored with Jamie. And yeah, I really enjoy podcasts. I don't listen to the radio anymore. Do you listen to the radio in the car?
Only for a break between podcasts, because sometimes the podcast can be quite heavy. I do listen to lots of
music I listen to, but the actual radio?
When the kids get in the car, so that my double speed on my audiobooks or podcast doesn't drive them insane. So I'll just hit radio so I don't need to deal with what song requests they want.
It's amazing. I don't listen to the radio.
Yeah.
I can't stand the ad breaks.
Yeah.
It's taking up wasteful moments for me.
Well, I will never switch on 5 minutes either side of the half hour because it's full of ads. And I will hit the list. Like I'll go, whether it's Nova or Kiss, and go down until there's one of the versions.
Play
the pop,
music.
The Nation, the whatever that is just music.
Just music. Yeah. So it's super interesting. Like Sim and I, we when she's been in my car, she's got the radio on. Yeah. And it doesn't bother me, but it's like, nope. Straight back to like either Apple Music or Spotify. Yeah. But mostly listening to podcasts. Yeah. I definitely listen to our podcast because there's stuff that in the moment I miss. Yes. Interviewing. And so on reflection,
I was
it's
saying that
really
the other
great.
day, I just binge listened to all of them and I was like, oh wow. Oh wow.
Right. There's so many nuggets that we get missed being the hosts.
So why should people podcast?
Well, I think that it's a great way to engage in the audience. Yeah. So people want to see different sides of you. In fact, you know what? Like I'm going to pause us here. I'm going to take a break. We're going to go straight to the Rise for an ad break. And when we come back, we're going to ask the expert why we should podcast.
Okay.
Guys, I want to introduce you to Rise, a business cohort like no other. So what is the Rise Network? Rise Network is a curated inner circle of 10 to 12 like-minded peers designed to provide a confidential, high-trust environment where business owners and leaders can gain strategic insights
actionable solutions and lasting relationships. Rise isn't just networking, it's a game-changing business support system. It has strategic problem solving built in, expert facilitation, actionable insights, long-term impact and authentic relationships, and it's based exclusively around high-trust cohorts. For your membership, you gain full access to Creative Cubes. That means you can drop in when you're on the run to use the meeting rooms, breakout spaces, or even just dock in for the day. We wanted to serve the underserved, the people that do need the help, do need the support, don't necessarily have the funds to be able to do it, and don't necessarily fit into one of these other organizations. And so that's where Rise kind of came from. So there you have it, guys. Go to werise.au, and I hope to see you at one of our cohorts soon.
All right. Now, this guy, he needs no introduction because we've been together nearly 9 years. Wow. James and I have filmed every single piece of content. In fact, there's been pieces of content where other people have filmed it, like a landlord has filmed their building or whatever. And I've flicked it over to James and go, hey, we didn't make this, just so you know. I'm not like working out with other people. But James Shadrach, Purpose Productions is the current business. He's now here on the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's so weird being on the other side of the camera. Like, I'm fully, technical, maintaining audio levels, video. So yeah, guys, thanks for having me on.
James, I speak so fondly of you.
Likewise,
all
man,
the time.
likewise.
I'm one of your biggest fans. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I remember, I think it was in 2017 or 2018, you rocked up to Creative Cubes Richmond after being introduced to me via email from, I think it was Ari Berman or Ryan Berman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan and Big Bob. I think his business is Tall Bob.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew something big, tall. Shout out to Ryan and the team at Tall Bob. You show up with a skateboard, a backpack, and a camera.
So good.
And you're like, dude, I want to just make great content.
Yeah.
And I remember very, very, very early, I was like, yeah, cool, let's do some stuff. But then you actually shared an office with me for a period of time.
Yeah.
Because you weren't a member, but you're in the space. And I was a bit of a coach and a mentor and an advisor to you, but we were like creating, so I was a customer as well. And
yeah,
then,
it was kind of a crazy time. Like, on my side of things, I was sort of pursuing this idea of entrepreneurship. And I'd kind of been a little bit disillusioned by a lot of the people that I met, because I had this idea, and I was watching all this social media stuff, and I had this idea of what an entrepreneur was, or what a successful person I was. And I met so many people who just weren't it. And then it was so interesting how we met. It was like this message and that person connected me, and I just landed up in your office. And I said, man, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to go do this.
Yep.
And you were the first person that I met. I'm like, that's it. Like, it's that passion, it's that intensity, it's that vision, it's helping people and creating something. So it was kind of this crazy moment for me. I was like, wow, it's sort of, the journey started now. And that idea I had of business, it's real. And there are actually people out there building things and going after it.
so James came to me and, he was looking for coaching, advising, mentorship, and all the rest of it. And we went straight into the deep end.
Yeah.
I know if you remember, I know you remember this, but I don't know if you remember the moment. I texted a friend of mine who had just sold his company to Amazon. It was the Ring doorbell. They just sold for like over $1 billion to Jeff Bezos. And I'd learned that Shaquille O'Neal was actually one of their investors.
Oh.
And so I sent a message over and I said, hey, I didn't realize Shaq was part of Ring. Can you introduce me? And the reply that I got was, nah, but here's his phone number, email address, tell him I say hi. And so I remember literally just staring at my phone. And I go, oh my God, I got Shaq's email and phone number. What am I going to do? Oh my God. And then James walks in. I remember it so clearly. I was like, dude, we need to go upstairs to the event space and film a video for Shaq.
Oh, so cool.
So we filmed a video for Shaq, like just verbal diarrhea.
Yeah.
I think it went for like a minute or two.
Yeah.
We put it on our hidden link on YouTube.
Yeah.
So it was only available to those that had the link. I sent him an email saying, hey, you don't know me from a bar of soap, but this is my friend. He sent me your details, and this is a video that I've made for you. I think within 30 minutes, it was opened and watched one time in Atlanta, Georgia, because we saw it on the map.
Yeah.
And then about an hour later, it was opened twice in Las Vegas, Nevada. The next day, now I knew Shaq was in Georgia. I knew he was in Atlanta because he was shooting for NBA. He was shooting TNT, and that's where they broadcast from there. I didn't know what the Vegas connection was. And the next day, I woke up to an email, and it was from Rishi Deval. And he's like, hey, I look after Shaquille. He sent me your details. Great video. We'd love to learn more.
Oh, mad. Wow.
And then, lo and behold, for COVID and all the rest of it, Shaquille came to Australia and he showed up here at Creative Cubes.
Yes.
All because of the video we created.
Yeah, it's wild. It's such a crazy experience all to come together like that. And I just think it comes down to the power of video, messaging, and just being able to put an idea out there. But yeah, man, what a crazy time.
So, so James, so I want to, like, Kate asked me in segment 1, you know, why should people podcast? I want to get there.
Yeah.
But I actually want to like give people a bit of a background from my lens.
Yeah, sure.
On who you are.
Yeah, and it's cool as well because like Kate's here as well, and like I've shared so much with you. Like I've known you for such a long time, and you've seen me sort of grow and build the business. So it'll be cool to share part of the story. So basically, I grew up here in Melbourne, and I grew up in commission housing flats. Like I was extremely poor. Both my parents were long-term unemployed, and we just came from this really big sense of hopelessness. So for about the first like 20 years of my life, I didn't really have a lot of control over that situation. You don't really choose your parents. You don't choose where you're born. You're just sort of stuck in it. And so there was a lot of stuff, mental health issues, substance abuse, all this kind of stuff is what I grew up in. And at some point, I just started to have this desire to want to have a better life, to build a better life and really create something for myself. And so that took me on this whole journey of personal development, fixing a lot of things, growing, healing, trying to get myself to the point where I can move forward in the world. And sort of after I went through all that, I thought, well, how I really move forward is through business. If I figure out how to do this, then I'll never have to worry about a job. I can always help the people in my community, and I'll be kind of like free. Like that's what I thought. And so I figured that out. I went to uni, did all my studies. I'm like, I don't want to do uni anymore. I want to go start a business. And so I literally typed entrepreneur into seek.com.au just to hang out with business people. Like I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't understand anything around like profitability, scale, investment, marketing, like zero knowledge about anything. But eventually I got a job working in a co-working space, not your co-working spaces, but the person there introduced me to you. And then, yeah, talk about like synchronicity, serendipity, like things just coming together. I was like, I just want to do this. I just need an opportunity. I just need someone who's going to show me the pathway. And then I met you. And that was really like the start of all this stuff.
I showed him the muddy path though, not the paved path.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the real dirt and the crocodiles and the sharks and the snakes and the shit that no one like really. It's like, it's glamorous. Entrepreneurship is sexy and cool, man. Not at 4 a.m. when you're hustling to the airport, pissing down with rain and you're trying to solve another problem in another city and you're hours away.
Yeah, so it's crazy. Like so much of it has just been extreme challenge, adversity, like thinking things are going to work and then it just totally failing. I think in many ways my gift is all the stuff and all the crap that I had to deal with when I was a kid. That sort of almost inoculated me to stress, to adversity. I still feel it. Like I still feel terrible when things don't go well, when I face adversities. But to be honest, part of me is like, it's never going to be as bad as that.
Yes.
Because now I have people like you guys. I've got this whole network of people. I have skills, I have resources, I have people that I can turn to. So I'm like, even if stuff is terrible, at least I've got people around me.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I know I've said it before on this show. I've said it away from stuff. Every time you get a little win, I'm like cheering you on. You know, you often see some of these athletes that come from the hood. And they get on these amazing contracts and they're like, they call up their mom and pa and they're like, Ma, we're leaving the hood tomorrow. Like, we're out of here. Let's go.
Yeah.
You did a lot of that. You did a lot for your brother.
Yeah.
I recognize that. You now are married.
Yeah.
So, like I had nothing to do with that, but like my little boy's growing up, Kate, it feels, I feel such ownership, such joy and pride for him.
I must say, when I got in here today, James was telling me about an event on the weekend or a non-event on the weekend.
Yeah, that's a funny story.
And the event that turned into the non-event, he made into a beautiful weekend away with his wife.
There you go.
Yeah.
So rather than stressing about it, thinking the job's not going ahead or it was a disaster, the first thing he said was, I had an interesting weekend.
Yeah.
So definitely he follows in the
muddy
glass.
part. Yeah.
Well, no, the glass is half full.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not empty, because I know that if you had that weekend too, you're high-fiving that, hey, we're away for the weekend. Who cares? There's no work.
Totally. Kate, in the opening segment, Tobi, why is it important for people to start a podcast or create their own content? I can answer that question very easily, but we have an expert here who serves tens of businesses, hundreds of businesses maybe, that are creating content all the time.
Yeah.
So
I think there's many different reasons. I think the main thing is we really are in this era of self-promotion, of content creation, and it sounds a little bit sad, but if you don't have a presence, people just forget about you. That's the most fundamental reason as to why you should do content. If you're running a business and you're not posting stuff, people just don't know you're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's essential that we're showing up across all these different social media platforms so people know, oh, you've got a wellness center, you've got a co-working space, you've got a fitness business, you've got a health, like people just need to know about that. How it came into podcasting was really about this idea of authenticity and people wanting to hear more about people. Traditional media was all about the sound bites, really structured, controlling a story, even to the point where someone's talking, there's a little earpiece saying, hey, don't say that, or tone that down, or say something different. And I think so many people rejected that type of media because they just want to hear, what do you actually think?
Yep.
If a product sucks, tell me it sucks. If you really believe in something, tell me you really believe in that. And that's the big rise of podcasting. It's mostly unedited, long-form content. And people can really speak about, this is what I actually think.
Yep.
You don't clip me in a little sound bite and then sort of force me into this one way of doing things. This is actually what I think about things. You got that, and then the ability for technology and AI, which we can talk about as well. But to cut all that content down into these little pieces of content, it's just extremely efficient. You spend an hour here, cut it all up, distribute it across social media. You've saved so much time in doing that.
one piece equals 3, right?
Yeah, or 10, or even more.
And it's the complete opposite to the negativity of social media, in that those sound bites, those really strong opinion pieces that are clickbait, but you don't hear the story behind that.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it's you get to tell the whole story,
Yeah.
and people see you for who you are, not the 3 seconds on Instagram.
So this is a non-political podcast. Like, I just care about good people. But podcasting podcasting itself was a major determining factor as to who got elected in the presidential election,
So
right?
when I'm talking to new prospective clients, part of what I explain to them is look at how the US election was influenced by podcasting. On both sides. Like whatever way you are, it's getting influenced there. And then, a few months or a year later, I forget the actual time, but we had our own Australian election. And what's happening? Both parties are getting on major podcasts so they can influence and educate people. It's just, that's what people want to hear about.
That's exactly right. And actually, if you're going to hide behind mainstream, then you're actually missing half. You're missing the majority of the audience.
And like you said, you don't even listen to radio at all anymore. So podcasting's where it's at.
Like Hughesy's a mate of mine. We should actually have Hughesy on the pod. I can't see through my eyes when I speak to him because I'm laughing so hard. I'm hopefully having catch up with him tonight actually. But I don't really I want to support that. But I really don't listen to the ads in the mainstream. And in fact, when news breaks, when you see stuff, I jump straight to X.
Yeah.
Are you big X's?
Not so much, but
Really?
you've hit on such an interesting point. 10 years ago, if breaking news happens, we would all go to major news outlets to find out what's happening. How should I think about this? What am I missing? But now we're not doing that. You're hopping on your favorite podcasts or cut downs on X and thinking, well, what are the influences that I follow? What do they think about this and what's their opinion?
Yeah.
Do you know what I thought was interesting though? So Peter Blunden, we're going to get on this show, 50 years of working at News Corp, their longest employee, reports directly to the Murdochs. he said that more people are digesting mainstream news than ever before, which is really interesting. And he's got the stats to back
he
it
probably
up.
does have the stats.
Yeah.
I think that the reality is, right, and Gav and I speak about this on our vlog this month in Venture. You know, we talk about Uber, or you talk about, let's just use Uber as the example, right? You and I, we're just hitting the app and doing it, right?
Yeah.
Our parents are probably calling 1-3 taxis or 1-3 cabs or whatever it's called, because then it's what we're doing is foreign to them. So there's different tiers of audiences.
True.
And there's people living for longer that have always consumed the 6 o'clock news.
Yes.
Or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
For me, firstly, I do have TVs in my home, but they're actually not connected to an antenna.
Yeah.
So I watch 7, 9, and 10 via my Apple TV. I've got the apps.
We watch it via Foxtel.
Right. So I don't even have, I cut the cord on Foxtel. I'm thinking of cutting the cord on Telstra as well and going straight to Starlink.
Yeah, I would say, I think in general, media consumption of all kinds is up. I think that's part of it as well. It's not like just people are disregarding, say, traditional news, but it's like we want more information as a whole. So maybe that's part of it. It's like we want more podcasts, we want more authentic content, but I'm also wanting to consume every single thing that's
Do you know what I love? Sorry, Kate. Do you know what I love about X is, and I almost got done. There was something about mortgages and your gross income and the ability to pay less tax if you've got a mortgage and all the rest of it. And I went to click on it to go, that's exactly what I need. And then underneath, they labeled it and it said, this is a scam. This is not true. And then it lists all the facts in the situation, right? And so what I love about it is the authenticity side. And even like I can't stand Anthony Albanese for a whole bunch of reasons.
Sure.
Not one of them is political, by the way. But when he tweets out, I think they're called tweets or posts, X is labeling it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Fake news, you know, and they're actually calling it out because, and so no wonder he wants to put a muzzle on social media and stuff like that. But you don't get that from 7, 9, and 10 when you're just sitting in front of the broadcast and it's one way.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And I think that's why it's empowering people so much, because you can go look at all these different news sources. The challenge with it is something happens in the world and our gut reaction is to be like, oh, this person's bad, or this is terrible, I can't believe, or whatever it is. And then I think for the far majority of cases, it's complicated. And you look at all these different things, and after you've watched all these different podcasts and heard different opinions, you're just like, oh God, it's really complicated and it's not easily digestible in a soundbite, even though what we normally consume is just sound bites.
So true. And then you look at people like Jackie Felgate, news reporter, but her own channel is insane.
Right.
But the stories that she puts on her own channel are real people stories. Like you cannot stop your scroll when she puts something up. Everything she puts up is so real. It's the burglary in Brighton with the guy in his undies, or it's the whale that nearly knocks over the boat in the local bay. Like it's local, it's relevant, and it's stuff that's interesting without actually being newsworthy.
Like I love this sort of stuff. I love the transparency side of things. I love the fact checking side of things. I love the calling the bullshit. You know, I love being able to see that that's being called out. James, why are people engaging purpose productions today?
Yeah, so I think the main thing is content is hard and it takes a really long time. The first thing is figuring out all the technical stuff. So how do I use lighting? How do I use cameras? How do I use audio? I was listening to a podcast the other day that my wife loves, and I listened to the audio. I'm like, I can't listen to this because it's so bad.
Quality was bad.
Yeah, but that's not their thing. They're like artists or they're experts. They just want to focus on talking about what they do. So a lot of our business is making it really easy. Obviously, you guys are both clients of mine, for people like you to just do your thing, to not worry about, did it record? Do I have the right audio level? I think that's one big part of it. And the second part is just time. People don't have the time to be sitting around editing heaps of things and spending all this time fixing stuff and processing content. And then I think the most exciting thing is the way that we're now able to use things like AI to speed up all our processes and make things faster, more efficient, and really just offer better prices to our customers. It's a really exciting time to be in the creative field.
You won me at the bit of not having to worry about the tech.
Right.
I'm done. And the funniest thing that I got to watch on the Sam Newman podcast, Smart Ass Sam, is when Don Scott and Sam Newman were working together. They filmed a whole series of podcasts and they forgot to press record.
Oh.
And the fury in that room, just, you can imagine the two personalities just beside themselves. And I was like, and that's when you need a tech expert.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there's a couple of things that you actually really tap on that resonate with me. I think I'm an expert when it comes to the content and storytelling. I am not an expert in editing. I'm not an expert in sound and lighting. And actually, when I think about what I do for my members, like we're an expert in office space and activation and community and bringing things together and in all that. But my members just want to run their business.
Yeah.
They just want to plug in. They want to know the Wi-Fi is working. Yeah. They've got a safe space in their private office for 2, 5, 10, 50 people to be able to come in. When their guests arrive, everything's just taken care of. They just want to focus on their product, services, or their experiences. They don't want to be bogged down with the technical stuff, or even just like the ball and chain of actually like running their office, you know, in my world or in this world, like setting everything up, hiring the studio, making sure you got water, making sure you've got lighting, power, blah, blah, blah. Well, and by the way,
bathrooms are clean,
and we're
and
recording,
the kitchens are clean,
and it's recording.
Yeah, and it's recording. I've got to say, we've got Lauren Burns coming on the show in a few weeks' time, and she's coming here. She's spoken with you beforehand. She's doing a huge presentation nationally for a very big paid gig, and I assured her that if she came in here, that the tech will work and her gig will go live across the nation, because I know you guys have got the right people here to make that happen. There's nowhere else I could say that if we were recording from my office, somewhere else, that I could guarantee it's going to work. But I know here it'll work. Yeah,
it works. And James is the guy behind it all, right? So I think that
I think most clients are just like, I just want things to look good, sound good, and I just want to get the content out there. And meanwhile, like, we're behind the scenes obsessing about what type of light should we use and what strength of light should we use to make the skin tone look the best. Like, we go really, really nerdy in it. And I just don't talk about this stuff because unless you're actually in the technical industry, it is kind of boring. But that's what I'm obsessed about, is just getting all these things perfect and constantly evolving that stuff.
I love that James is thinking about our skin.
Oh,
how refreshing.
Yeah, so there's so much to unpack there on that. I think I just want to make sure it works.
Yeah.
And I actually think I marvel in some of our pods that I listen to on the week when they come out live on a Wednesday morning. Damn, we sound so good. Damn, the content's amazing. Damn, like,
it's James.
Yeah, I know, it's all James. So I'm grateful to you. We're exposing ourselves here, Kate, because you also run the Inspired CEO.
Yeah.
And your segment is also run through Purpose Productions.
Absolutely. And everybody who walks into the studio here, who walks into Creative Cubes, first they're blown away by Cubes. They love the space. Then they get into the studio, the professionalism, the way that everything is taken care of. They literally walk in, put down their things. They feel relaxed. Their speakers or mics are set up. They're on camera. The lighting's done. The auto cue for the intro, like, it's all there. And we hit the ground running. That's why we can do 10 back-to-back in a day.
I'm going to link all of the show notes. My mum actually says to me, "What? Who are you looking at on the side?" Because Kate's next to you. So I'm speaking to James, but James is in front of me now. So I'm just going to go into my normal flow.
You do.
We're going to link all of the show notes in the program. You can just tap on them. I'll link you to James. It's Purpose Productions, but I'm also going to link
Purpose Productions or purposeproductions.co, and like, we're on Instagram. LinkedIn's probably my biggest platform, so if you follow me on there,
I'll definitely put your LinkedIn. I typically connect with James, connect with Kate, connect with Tobi, and they're all LinkedIn's. And then you want to learn more about Purpose, Be Fit, or Cubes, they're also there as well in the show notes, guys. After we hear from Luna, we'll be back to wrap the show.
weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off.
So Kate, I know you know James. You've been
Yes.
working with James for a little while. I've been working with him for a long while.
What a story. I didn't know his backstory.
I just think the world of him. I really do.
I could feel he had a backstory. You know, when you know people with integrity that have got a heart, that are authentic. I knew there was a story. I just hadn't heard the story.
Yeah, and to not expose him. You know, he's had it hard.
Yeah.
And then he's latched on to good people.
Yeah.
And also not so good people as well. And you know, I've been able to steer him in the right directions, I think, at all times.
Yeah.
And I'm in awe. I think he's done so unbelievably well. You know, we talk a lot on the show about people that inspire us, and we've got some big names that come in here, and you know, who are we getting our inspiration from? Like, in full disclosure, I get a lot of my inspiration from James. Just watching him be able to pull himself out of a negative situation, respect himself more than enough to say, I deserve better, or he deserves better, and then sort of work out how to go about delivering himself better, and delivering what he wants for himself better than unfortunately his parents could do for him.
Well, I get the polished product, thank you, Tobi, of James. Every time I show up here, so polished, so professional. Everything always goes perfectly. So, well done.
He showed up 9 years ago with a skateboard and a camera. Today he's running a multi-million-dollar business with, I don't know, hundreds of clients, but tons and tons of clients. And in fact, I even remember, we never brought this up on the show, when I met him, he'd never been on an airplane or overseas before. And in the journey of Purpose Productions, I think he's connected with the Australian export, so Austrade. I think he ended up in China or Hong Kong or Singapore, and he went on his first international flight. He's interstate quite frequently.
With the Inspired CEO, we did a shoot up in Sydney.
I saw that. I can't wait to host you guys at Cubes in Sydney when we open that. We haven't made the announcement yet, but the deals, the product and properties under construction.
Amazing. And Adelaide.
Adelaide's going to be pretty special. So I'm trying to let Adelaide have its limelight, but we're ready to announce Sydney in the next couple of weeks as well.
Can't wait.
So I look forward to hosting you there, or you and James there when you back up. But Purpose Productions, where it's at, James Shadrach, superstar.
Amazing.
All right, I'll see you on the next one.